forget that we need a life jacket just in case.
Always wear your PFD. Conversation me and Landon are having right now. So I might have just went and spent that stimulus money that Donald Trump sent me on a new kayak for myself. Still breaking it in. I'll go into that more later probably. And I got Landon an 8-foot sit-in from Field and Stream. He is rolling in this thing. He's hard to keep up with. He's getting after it. We're up on Ulaga Lake. It's a beautiful day. I told him, I was like, oh, I got a secret little spot. It's fine. There'll be no one here. We've seen, gosh, half a dozen kayaks, 3 flat bottom boats. There's people everywhere. And people are catching fish too. Guys said they caught some bass. Kayaker just came through with some crappie he was taking home. So I might, of course I had to bring a fishing pole. Had to see how the poles and all the gear fit in. So kind of bummed out. The back of this thing is too narrow, the compartment, to hold my milk crate. So I guess Field and Stream made this kayak to where you can only use their milk crate or their special tackle box or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But main reason I upgraded to this, it's 12 feet. It does track a lot better. And also there's a storage compartment there and a large one there, along with the back compartments. And I can do some kayak camping in this. I can put my camping gear in it and float down the stream and sleep on the river and continue. So I'll probably be able to do some of those adventures in this. So I'll still use the old yellow Pelican too a lot probably. So having 2 sons and me, we all have our own kayaks now. And I don't know where Landon's going. He just already crossed the creek and put it into the bank there. He is getting after it again, and I'm just throwing up in this stuff. Had a big swirl around my bass lure, and I just caught the biggest crappie I've caught in a long time. So I don't know.
Wow.
It is fat. I don't know if it's got, probably, I'm gonna guess that's a bunch of eggs in there. So I do have a rope, and I mean, we could haul it back. We've got plenty of rope and stuff, but I don't have a bucket to drive it home with, so I think it's this sweet crappie's lucky day. I think we're gonna let it go.
Can I?
Landon, let me show you how you let fish go so it's pretty.
Okay.
All right, let's see if I can do it. He's gone. Sweet, let's try to get another one.
Yay!
Paddled a little over 2 miles. That was crazy. And I never had to tow him. I thought when we got against the wind, he'd need a tow, but he just, he didn't say much and he just paddled hard. So Landon, what are your first impressions of your new Field and Stream 8-foot sit-in? What'd you like about it?
The cup holder kept messing up, so I put your cup in here.
Okay. Yeah.
And
What?
then,
Uh-oh.
no.
What do you think about the steering? Did it turn real sharp and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah? You didn't feel like you were going to tip over?
No.
No?
I only felt like I was tipping over, but I was really tipping over doing this.
Yeah? You didn't get too much water in there?
No, not
No.
really.
Cool. So overall, you enjoyed it? Wasn't too difficult to paddle? You a little tired?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 miles is a long ways for your first time.
Yeah.
Or second time ever on a kayak. First, like, real long paddle.
Yeah.
cool. Well, my kayak is a Eagle Talon by Field and Stream, also 12 foot. I like it. It's going to be really great for fishing. Main thing I like about it is it doesn't drift the minute you stop paddling. It doesn't come off your the plane that you're on. It stays straight. So for photography and fishing and things, it's going to be really nice. That other boat, by the time I pull my phone out of my life jacket to take a picture, or I'd make a cast and start reeling, my boat would start turning the other way. This one, I was doing 2 or 3 casts, pointed right at where I was fishing, and it was no problem at all. So I like that. I think the rod holders behind me are a little close. I was hitting them a couple of times when I was, paddling too far back. If those were back 3 or 4 more inches, that'd be great. But it's okay. The seat straps kind of go a little high, and like I said, I'm not real crazy about not being able to have the milk crate in it. But I opened that storage thing. It is hard to open, which is fine, because normally you only be getting in that when you're packing it when you're not in the water, or unloading it when you're not in the water. But tons of room for camping gear. This little rod holder here, I need to get, I guess, buy the extra little attachment. I'll probably do that some. This thing seems great. All my stuff's in there. It's nice. There's a little place right behind me where I could probably put a dry bag with food in it that you can access real easily, or baits, or clippers or pliers to get a hook out of a fish or something. These foot holders, which is a really important thing on a kayak, honestly. Thanks, buddy.
I was trying to throw it at you.
Honestly, we'll show them how the cup holder works. They're kind of janky. They're all plastic, on plastic rails, and they did mess up a few times, and they did come apart once when I would stuck my hook in something, and I was leaning up towards the front, and somehow I knocked something off and broke a piece off of it and had to snap it back in there. So that's kind of cheap, but other than that, I love the handles. It being 68 pounds, being able to pick it up like this and put that on your shoulder there is nice. Yeah, really. And all the extra little straps and everything, all the bungees. There's a thing for an anchor on the back here. Kind of hard to show it off when I'm actually in it. And then I did put this other bungee on there. So there's the other little cup holder area for stuff. So, I mean, I can still fit my tackle box, so that's good, and anything else back there. And then there's tons of room up here. So being 12 feet makes a ton of difference. So and it's gonna be really great fishability. It turns almost as good as the 10 foot. Seems to handle real well, and I love that it tracks straight, unlike the other one. It doesn't track straight for more than 3 seconds. So that's gonna be really nice. So anything you want to add, Lando?
The only thing I don't like about this boat is when I put the cup in the cup holder, I turned and it just fell over.
Yeah, well, it's not deep enough. It's not really. It's made for a can of pop or something.
Yeah.
Or a small little thing. It's not really made for this tall thing here. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll go drag our stuff out and call it a day. I'm sure you're tired, ready for some food, aren't you?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Till next time, kayak fans.
One more super quick thing now that I'm out of the boat and you can actually see what I'm doing. So, these scupper holes, they decided to put some right there. And my butt is really wet. So, scupper plugs will be mandatory. I'll probably go ahead and get 6 of them. 2 there under the seat, and there's 2 back in that compartment. I'll ride higher, I'll ride dry. It'll be perfect.